right, let's do it.
Tonight or today or this morning, whatever you are doing, chill out. We're in Essex.
Oh,
England, that is.
I was going to say in England?
Yes.
Jolly old England?
Jolly old England. A beautiful neighborhood, tree-lined streets, tiny brick homes, neighbors who wave as they pass. I feel like they probably meet for tea time.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just a simple. Yeah. They don't lock their doors because nothing ever bad happens in this neighborhood. It's safe, it's quaint, beautiful families, beautiful, simple lives. Perfection. Perfection for most. And at the end of Pump Hill stood one of these homes. Pump Hill. I'd end up on Pump Hill, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm so childish today.
Right? Same. This house, it wasn't grand. It wasn't like the biggest house on the block, but it was well kept. Curtains were always drawn just so, a little garden out front. And the owners of this house were John and Lois McCullough. Now they're cute. Of course, when I was looking, I'm like, I just picture them, darling. Would you like some tea?
Their names are John and Lois, which, come on.
Yeah, I think of Lois and Bram. Now, John and Lois were in their 70s at this point of the story, okay? By all accounts, they were just lovely, the kind of neighbors who said good morning with a smile. They were very old-fashioned, very polite, and very reserved, very proper English folk.
Alrighty.
But very kind. Like not hoity-toity English, but like kind and quaint.
Like nice people.
Yeah. They had been together for decades. And I love these couples because they're adorable when they get older. They raised 5 daughters in that house. Yeah. John and Lois were getting busy.
Oh, and that's so, like, we have 3. That's so busy.
And all girls.
Oof.
Like,
God bless them.
What did you do in a past life?
Can you imagine? And, it doesn't sound like John and Lois partook in the sins that we do, but can you imagine the amount of alcohol you would need to have 5 girls?
No. I would probably just be dead because I hardly survived one teenage girl. Imagine that times,
right?
No.
So
while all the others had gone, one daughter, the very youngest, Virginia, still lived at home. And to most people, that's not unusual. Families take care of each other, right? Like, I never find it weird if there's, a kid that needs a little bit more time.
In this economy, I fully expect our children to live here forever.
We're going to have to build like a little commune at this point.
Yeah.
And John had worked hard his entire life. He wasn't flashy, just that steady man, just providing, going to work, loving his family. And Lois was the same, very dependable and thoughtful. These 2 people you probably wouldn't notice in a crowd.
Of course.
They just blended in.
Yeah.
And there's a reason I made that comment, and you'll understand why later. In small towns like this one, that kind of steadiness is respected. And, you have a small community. You go to the same church for years. You have friends. Your neighbors know you. Right? And the McCulloughs were the kind of people that gave the impression they'd be around forever. But here's the thing, my love. Behind those closed doors were some secrets. Whoa. What do you mean secrets?
Closets full of bones.
Always. Right? It's always the families. And I actually just wanted to say this because the families that you look online and, everything is so perfect in that those are the ones that usually have some fucked up shit going on.
Yes, I agree. We say this all the time. Like, online is not real. Stop thinking that's reality.
Yeah. And, I'm like a very messy, authentic person. If I'm having a day or whatever, I don't post about it because I think it's weird putting your personal life. Yeah. But I'm certainly not an Instagram mom where my kids are posed perfectly and we're doing the fake laugh in the grass. Like, that's not ever going to happen for me.
I've been thinking about family photos recently and getting all of the kids just to stand still for 5 minutes for a photo and like actually smile.
Oh, no. No.
It's not happening.
And then, I've taken pictures of my kids on like special, and the first thing I take the picture, don't post that. Don't post that. I'm like, Okay.
I know.
So in the McCullough household, the one constant was Virginia, the baby.
Okay.
She wasn't a child anymore, Chantal. Virginia was in her 30s now.
Okay.
Okay. She's an adult living under her parents' roof, which is fine.
Yes, fine. Like absolutely 100% fine. I don't care if you're 40 and
No.
you're living at home. If I could live at home, can you
Yeah.
imagine a mama?
You know,
On that note, this is a total off script thing here right now. I thought about a business model where women like you and I go to a house, like think like an old Victorian house, okay? And you walk in the door and it's like you pay for 3 hours and a mom, like a Nona, just takes care of you for 3 hours. She makes you a soup. She runs you a bath. She
you're
brings
going
you
to
your
make me
books.
cry.
Wouldn't that be amazing? She
know,
makes you up a little bed with a quilt that you can have a nap in.
does she lay down and tickle your back?
She could.
That's what my Nana used to do.
Right? Like, I'm just like, what a great business model to just, because I'm telling you, I would pay money for that.
I would pay money for that. You know what? If you said you can either go to the spa or go to Nona's, I'm going to fucking Nona's.
This homemade meal. Well, just
fresh bread.
Anyway, I'm going to call it Nona's Nooks. So get ready.
Stay tuned, friends.
2027.
We've had a couple businesses. So, I mean, don't be surprised if you hear of Nona's
It's coming.
Okay. So, nobody really thought much about the fact that Virginia was living at home,
Mm-hmm.
but she was a little different.
Okay.
She was very quiet, withdrawn. The other four out living their life. They're social. They have full adult lives. And she just kind of seems to be a little lost, not social at all, introverted, not interested in building anything outside of just living at home.
Okay.
Neighbors barely saw her. Like she didn't socialize at all with them. If someone dropped by the house, it was always Virginia who answered the door. Never John,
Okay.
never Lois.
The look, I've known you too long. The look you just gave me, I know that how this whole story goes.
You're like, and I know the end.
Like, okay.
And like, really, because Virginia has always lived there her whole life,
Yeah.
it wasn't abnormal just to see her bumping around, but she was very quiet. So she's not one to talk to the neighbors.
No. And John and Lois are a little bit older.
Yeah.
So
no one thought anything of it at first. They were like, okay, parents get older, kids help out. And that's just what's happening. And that is perfectly normal. But over time, people started realizing something is weird about this situation. The curtains at Pump Hill seem to stay closed a little longer as the years go by. Years.
Right.
The house is growing quieter. And while neighbors used to see John and Lois around town, slowly they were like, have you seen John and Lois in a while? There were no alarms going off though, because again, they're in their 70s.
Mm-hmm.
The house is being taken care of. They still see Virginia.
Yeah. And people would assume Virginia's just taking care of her elderly parents.
100%. And remember, the parents were very, polite but private.
Mm-hmm.
Not very like out in the public, just lived simple lives. And people mind their business. Like I know like as you get older, especially that generation, they're just like, okay, we don't talk about things like maybe, that was just the generation. Whereas I feel like our generation is a little bit more like quick to realize things. Something is off.
Do you think now I know that you're in condo-esque building and it's a little bit different, but do you think you would notice if all of a sudden you didn't see someone? No way.
Not at all.
And it's funny because Matt notices these things. Now, mind you, Matt's lived in our neighborhood for quite a few years, like over 10 years. And it was in the summer, he was like, hey, have you seen the guy that lives in that house recently? And I started thinking, I was like, no, actually, I haven't. Anyway, he ended up being fine. We don't know
Everyone
why
in my
he was
condo
MIA.
building could be dead and I wouldn't know. They could be dead for a year and I would just be living my life.
Not because she doesn't love them.
No, it's
simply because she doesn't notice.
I don't notice because I'm so all over the place and everyone in my building is quite old. So like I don't cross paths with them that often. And yeah, so that was the consensus with the neighbors. Like John and Lois want privacy, and that's their right. So,
Yeah.
you know? But what nobody realized, my sweet little brown-haired angel across the screen, was that behind the front door of this quiet little home, the McCullough's lives were about to take a turn so dark, so horrifying, that even the police would struggle to believe it.
Boy.
So, by the late 2010s, people around Pump Hill are kind of noticing slight changes. John and Lois, those sweet, polite, church-going neighbors, just weren't around. No quick chats in the garden, no going to church, which was, now these are church-going people. All of a sudden, they stopped going to church completely. That's not a thing.
My mother will burn down the town to get to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
She's not missing that.
No. And people who, when that's part of your beliefs, if you believe so strongly and
It's
that's
your
all you've ever
community.
done, that's your community. You don't just one day not show up and never come back.
No.
Right? And people in church are like, okay, after a couple weeks, well, maybe they went out of town. Maybe they are unwell.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
If you did notice an absence of someone that you did see fairly regularly or even once a week, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, we haven't seen them in a while. How long before you take action of any kind? And what is that action?
Okay. So I think, a couple weeks isn't a big deal. People go on holiday. They have kids that don't live at home. So that would be normal for me. I would say after a month, I would start asking questions. Like, has anyone seen them? I'd stop by the house, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think step one for me would be going to the door, knocking on the door. I mean, worst case scenario, they answer it. And I say, I am so sorry to bother you. I am a nosy fuck.
Yeah.
And I needed to know where you were because I hadn't seen you in a while.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
I would probably disguise my fucking nosiness with like, I brought a basket to make sure like everybody was well.
You're so awkward sometimes and I love it.
I'm so awkward because I wouldn't be able to. Chantel could like out front be like, listen, I'm here to fucking investigate. And I would be like, hi, I baked muffins and can I talk to Lois and here's the muffins and how are you? And
Ashley,
like, I'm so fucking weird.
It would be like, hello, my name is Ashley and I live next door. And I'm just wondering if you wanted to be my friend because I was thinking about you.
That's how you and I became friends. I said, do you want to be friends?
I was like, fuck yeah.
I don't know how else to make friends. Like, would you like to be my friend? I've been doing this since kindergarten, guys. I'm not going to change now. That's what I was told to do. If you like someone, you ask.
It's just so funny because there would be no like basket from me. I would literally be like, hey, you good in there? Because I haven't seen you for about 4 weeks.
No, I would be sending fucking, I'd probably send you, to be honest. Let's be real. So our little buddies have now vanished. Oh. No word, no nothing. But when people did start asking, it was always Virginia who answered. Mom and Dad are on holiday. I'm doing the voice. Mom and Dad, they're on holiday.
Okay.
Or they're too tired. They don't feel up to visitors. They're getting older.
Yeah.
My favorite of all the answers, she goes, they're just keeping to themselves these days. Because that's fucking weird.
But this is exactly the point. What do you say to that? If I'm standing at the door and the daughter says they're fine, they're just keeping to themselves these days. I mean, and again, this is where we differ because I would be like, yeah, okay, I'd like to talk to them.
You would.
100%.
I'd be like, okay, bye now. Fucking book it. They don't want to be my friend.
I would be like, that. I'm glad. I'm so glad that they're keeping to themselves. Could you just bring them to the door? Just let me have a little peeky at them.
Yeah, you're amazing like that. I'm just a fucking odd duck, So the thing about this is nobody questioned it. And I find that so weird because we're talking like a very long time and I'll get into that.
Yeah.
But again, then I also see the other side of it where why would they question it? Because Virginia is there in the house. They're seeing her come and go. She's answering the door. She's very convincing. She was like, my parents are absolutely fine. Mom and Dad are great. They're just really unwell. And, they're not really up for visitors. So, I mean,
This brings me back to something my dad and my mom that I heard growing up so many times. Because my mom, I get my assertiveness from my mother. And I remember so many times where we'd be at the dinner table and she'd be like, well, I think we should ask them about whatever. It was somebody at church. It was whatever. And Dad always said the same thing. Just leave them alone. Okay, just leave them alone.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. So I imagine in this scenario, it was
Yeah.
probably very similar, where families did talk about it at the dinner table at night. And probably the papa was like, Janet, just leave it alone.
Right.
Like,
mind your
don't.
business. Yeah.
Mind your business. Don't.
That is you and Matt.
Except Matt's like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Let's go check this fox out.
I'm like, I want to go on this place and I want to look into this house and we might have to break in. He's like, yeah, all right, let's go.
All right, let's go. Pack your shit, babe. Let's do it. And all the while, you would wonder, okay, if something nefarious is going on, aren't the other sisters like, Mom, Dad, where are you?
Okay, so I was wondering that.
But it was okay because Virginia kept in touch with her sisters, texting them, calling them, but always as if she was her parents.
Yeah, but sorry, I know I'm dragging this out a bit. How long are you going without physically talking to one of your parents?
I mean, I could go 6 months just texting back and forth with my dad and it wouldn't even like raise an alarm bell.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I would go max 2 months.
Okay.
Max.
Yeah, fair. Same with my mom, though. We'll text back and forth.
Yeah.
But again, this is in 2010. Yeah. So anyways, the texts that she was sending would always sound very convincing. She would say, love you, Mom, or we're having a little seaside break. Dad and I are having the best time on holiday. And she played both roles. She was acting like the daughter. Yeah, Mom and Dad, I talked to them on the phone today, or I saw Mom and Dad yesterday. And then she would also pretend to be her parents, texting the sisters. So there are no like major alarm bells going off, right? But it worked for a while. But of course, this isn't going to play out forever. And here's where things get dark. So the house itself starts to feel a little off. Neighbors notice curtains are starting to stay closed longer and longer, like weeks at a time. Parcels are piling up. Lights are flickering oddly at night. People said Virginia seemed hostile at the door. Like she wasn't polite anymore. She was basically, get the fuck out of here.
Like, what are you doing here? Leave.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And of course, slowly people in the community are whispering like, do you know what's going on over there? Something doesn't feel right. And of course it doesn't. Had John and Lois moved away? Were they sick? Why did not a single person see them anymore? Like, that's bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
Every time someone raised the question, though, Virginia smoothed it over. She was so careful. She was so polite. She made sure the pensions kept coming in, the checks were being cashed, the bills were being paid. Mm-hmm. On paper, John and Lois were still alive. But girl, what was going on in that house? I can't.
I'm so scared.
I cannot. It is so fucked up. And it would take years. 4 years, my love, before anyone realized what was going on.
Boy, all right.
4 fucking years. Virginia held this illusion together. Her sisters got messages from Mom. Neighbors got excuses at the door. Like, on paper, they were alive and well. But here's the thing that fucking shocks me. You went 4 Christmases, 4 birthdays, 4 Easters, 4... Like, what?
Exactly.
This is crazy.
Don't want to... Like, obviously, these 4 girls have been through hell. And I'm not... This is not me blaming. This is literally just me putting myself in that position. There's not a chance in hell I'm going 1 Christmas without speaking to my mother.
Right?
Not even one. If by Boxing Day I haven't spoken to my mom, I'm showing up.
100%. 100%.
I'm showing up. Regardless of if my sibling, like if my brother was like, oh, Mom and Dad are fine, blah, blah. I'd be like, that's nice. I've got to come see for myself.
Right.
No.
So... But again, the thing about lies is they will start fraying. You're not going to keep up this illusion for fucking ever. We're talking 4 years here.
Oh my God.
So in September 2023, the first real crack appears.
Mm-hmm.
John and Lois had missed several GP appointments. So GP, like doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, they're not showing up. There are no check-ins, no dental appointments. Like these people were the type of people that got their checkups, went to the dentist. Now, all of a sudden, you're in a small town, the doctors are like, huh? What do you mean they're not coming in? Like, no one's calling, no one's showing. That's not them.
And in your 70s, you're not missing those appointments. Like,
No.
you're not missing those.
So it was actually their family doctor that raised the alarm. It was like, no, like,
good.
They get their checkups. Like, this is 4 years of no doctor's appointments. Hello.
Yeah.
So he raises the alert, and suddenly the McCulloughs are on the radar. So people are like, okay, the police show up on Pump Hill. They knocked on that quiet little door. And of course, it was Virginia, all smiles, answers the door. Calm, convincing. She told them her parents were just fine and they were keeping to themselves. Maybe they'd been traveling, maybe a bit under the weather, whatever the fuck she said.
Yeah.
But officers, our bright little officers, noticed something. They noticed there was absolutely no sign of elderly parents in the house. No sign of them anywhere. Because there are going to be signs. And they're like,
of course.
We don't.
The elderly and babies, you know if there's one in the house.
And the more they looked, the more it didn't add up. The pensions are still coming in, yes. The bank accounts are being used. Texts are coming from Lois, but sent from Virginia's phone. So she's slipping up. Yeah. So it's unraveling. Shit's getting fucking real. I think obviously when you hear what happened, you're going to be like, oh, this bitch was cray cray.
Yeah, I already kind of feel that way, but yes.
So the police leave and they're like, okay, something's fucking weird here. What do we do? So they had to go and get a warrant. And we all know that takes time. And without probable cause, right? It's very hard to get into a home. So it takes a little bit of time. They're like, no, they have some convincing to do. They needed a warrant. They need to be able to, get the paperwork done. So they do come back.
Okay.
They show up. Hello, we have a warrant to check this premises. So they go inside through the quiet living room, up the narrow stairs, behind closed doors that hadn't been open in years.
Oh, this is going to upset me.
Yeah. So first, they find John McCullough's body, hidden inside what officers later described as a makeshift Molossi.
Virginia.
Bricks and blocks, like around him in the house.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And Lois's body, my love, was upstairs wrapped in a sleeping bag, stuffed into a wardrobe, left to rot. And this was only a few feet of where Virginia lived day to day.
Virginia, you dirty bird.
Right?
What
for
the
4 years?
Hell? This is not an unusual thing. There are story after story after story of kids either killing their parents or their parents die, and they want that money to keep coming in from the government. Okay, like this is a common thing. But like, bury them in the backyard. What are you doing?
Don't be gross. Like, she was in that house eating, sleeping, watching TV, and their bodies are just rotting in there. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God, the smell can't. Because listen, I don't care how many bricks you've got, that you're smelling that.
And she was just in there.
Gross.
Like,
what a nasty. Yeah, nasty girl.
Crazy. Fucking insane. So when police find this, they obviously confront Virginia, and she was very calm, and she was like, yeah, I did. Like, mom and dad, they died. Like, what?
And you kept them?
Because she wanted, obviously it had everything to do with the money, and because we know. Yeah.
Of course.
So the truth is now out. John and Louise hadn't fucking vanished or went on holiday.
To the seaside?
To the seaside. They were fucking rotting in their house. And all this time, it just blows my mind. 4 years of her living with these corpses, spinning lies, making stories, talking to her siblings. Like, what in the fuck is going on? So once the bodies of John and Lois were discovered, Virginia didn't fight. Like, she confessed, calm, cold, unemotional, because she's had 4 years to fucking sort her shit out. But what came out in court was more horrifying than anyone imagined. Father John was poisoned. Virginia crushed up his medication, mixed it into his drinks, Guinness and brandy, and just waited. But her mom, Lois, her death was brutal. Virginia bludgeoned her with a hammer. Then she stabbed her. And afterward, she wrapped her in a sleeping bag and sealed her inside the wardrobe.
Okay. Well, I hope she's rotting in prison. Like, you're so
Well,
sick.
And it's odd to me because John's body was entombed downstairs, hidden in this
Right.
makeshift mausoleum. But
Is it Mausoleum or Mausoleum?
Mausoleum, sorry. Did I say Mausoleum?
You said it twice, and I was like,
Is that right? No, it's
it's fine.
yeah, it's Mausoleum.
It's fine. Yep.
But I don't understand, it just seems like she made this, she killed her dad with poison, built this,
There was a
thing,
shrine.
and then she bludgeons her mom and throws her in a wardrobe and asleep. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, that is
and
weird.
the thing is, Virginia was even impersonating her mom on the phone. They later found out.
So maybe that's why the girls didn't initially
They
panic.
thought they were talking to their mother.
To their mom.
That is so fucked up.
What a bitch.
She at one point even called the police pretending to be her mother. Can you fucking imagine calling the police with a fake voice?
Talk about cheap thrills. How bored are you?
Yep. And this whole time
Wow.
she was draining their accounts. She was taking 150, is it euros? No.
Mm-hmm.
Is it euros in England?
Euros or pounds?
Pounds. She was, taking their pensions. She was running up a bunch of debt. She had all the best clothes, jewelry, gambling. She built an entire life around these fucking corpses in her house. It's so crazy. So October 2024, the case comes to sentencing. The judge said Virginia was an intelligent manipulator, cold, calculated, and deceptive.
Yeah.
She did plead guilty because obviously.
Yeah, you're not hiding that.
This sentence to me, though, because I think it's the same as here. It's life
similar.
in prison, but a minimum of 36 years before parole.
Yeah.
She'll be nearly 80 before she's eligible.
Well, good.
Could you have to, I don't know. Would you go, say it was your sibling, would you go and be like, what in the fuck? Or would you just never speak to them?
Oh, no. I would absolutely what the fuck that. I would be furious. As a matter of fact, I'd probably visit him every single day in prison.
So, I know. Yeah, I know.
Just to fuck up his day. Not as
100%.
a, it's good to see you. Literally just to fuck up his day.
Yeah. So when they were investigating everything, they actually were able to prove that she'd planned this murder for years.
Oh, God. What a selfish.
She's a fucking piece of shit.
Because I bet you this came down to she didn't want to share with her 4 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to share. She wanted it to
be
herself.
Responsible. She didn't want to have to work.
The baby. She wanted to have it all.
Fucking idiot. So my question, though, is we have a family of 5 girls. 4 of them grow up to be beautiful, established adults. What happened to this one? Is it a case of the baby was fucking spoiled? Is it a case there was obviously some kind of mental deficiency that wasn't brought to light? Where does the nature versus nurture go? This has to be nature. Because all these kids were raised by the same parents, same environment, loving family. Everyone does well. And then all of a sudden you have this fucking...
But this raises a question that I've been thinking about a lot lately. We assume that each of those girls got the same type of parenting.
There.
And I don't think that's actually reality.
This is true. I was way easier on my first. Because I was learning. And then any mistake I made with the first one, I'm like, I
know better.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's might be the case here.
Yeah.
I think each of those girls got, yes, they're the same parents, but they got different versions of their parents, just as you and I, as we go through our life, we grow as people.
They age. My, view on life now opposed to even 10 years ago is completely different.
Exactly. And so I wonder if to me, this sounds like a spoiled brat situation. Mm-hmm. I wonder if, maybe we don't know the story. Maybe she wasn't expected. Maybe Virginia was a miracle baby. Yeah. Maybe she was a rainbow baby. Maybe they had lost a baby before her. And somehow she was seen as this like gift from God. And that shapes your perspective and your parenting a little bit.
100%. The baby's always treated a little differently.
Yeah, right.
All the older
Right.
siblings probably were like, but she's the baby.
Yeah, and she got, mom and dad were more established in life by the time they had her. They had a little bit of extra money to spoil her. She probably didn't get told no very often.
Yeah.
And
And by
so
the fourth child, you're fucking exhausted, Chantal. You're just like, do what you want. I'm fucking done.
Here's an iPad. Don't do anything stupid. Make good choices. No, exactly. And I wonder if that's maybe the situation here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because we don't know what went on in that house prior to these murders. Maybe mom and dad were like, Virginia, sweetheart, we want to retire. We want to travel. We don't want to have to worry about you. It's time you start looking for a flat. Like, it's time for you to get out. We'll help you, but you got to get out on your own. And maybe she was like, absolutely not. This is my house.
Who are you to tell me I have to get a job?
Yeah.
So that was the story of Lois and John, and it's awful and fucked up and crazy.
Yeah. And we always say this, I'm so sorry for the 4 girls who lost their parents in an awful way.
And I mean, they have to now live with, never and knowing that, their sibling did this.
Yeah, it's
awful. Crazy.
Absolutely
It's
crazy. Well, thank you so much for that story. Guys, please vote for Ashley. We're going to just say it over and over again. You guys are going to be so annoyed. And to be quite honest with you, I don't care.
No.
Because this is...
Do you guys want to be my friend?
This is exciting for us. So get your votes in. You can do 1 free vote a day, or if you choose to donate, if you have it, to the Starlight Children's Foundation, you can have more votes and pay for those. Any little bit helps. And we will see you all on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.